Today we are going to be talking about scale factor. First, we are going to look at two definitions. The first definition we will look at is scale. The definition of scale is the ratio between two sets of measurements. So scale is the ratio between two sets of measurements. The second definition we will be looking at is scale factor. Scale factor is the ratio used to enlarge or reduce similar figures. So again, scale factor is the ratio used to enlarge or reduce similar figures. We are now going to try some examples. Example 1 says, on a map of Florida, the distance between two cities is 10.5 centimeters. What is the actual distance between them if the scale is 3 centimeters equals 80 miles? We are first going to set this up as a proportion using the scale factor that they give us. The scale factor says 3 centimeters is the same as 80 miles. We are now going to set that for what we know. We know that the distance between the two cities we are looking for is 10.5 centimeters. So we are going to put that on the top. Now the part of the proportion we are trying to find is on the bottom for x. In order to find that, we will cross multiply and say 80 times 10.5 equals 3 times x. This is now just a simple multi-step equation. We are going to multiply 80 times 10.5, and that is going to give us 840 equals 3x. Now we will divide by 3, and x is going to equal 280 miles. So the distance between the two cities in real life is 280 miles. Let's try another one. A model house is 16 centimeters wide. If it was built with a scale of 4 centimeters is equivalent to 15 feet, then how wide is the actual house? So let's set up our proportion again. 4 centimeters is the same as 15 feet. So we're going to set that equal to what we know, and it is 16 centimeters wide. And the bottom is what we're looking for, so we're going to call it x. So we are going to multiply what we know. 15 times 16 equals 4 times x. And now we're going to just solve our multi-step equation. So 15 times 16 equals 240. So 240 equals 4x. We're going to divide both sides by 4. And x is going to equal 60. So the actual house is 60 feet wide. Let's try another one. Example 3. Johnny used a map to get to his grandma's house that used a scale of 2 centimeters equals 80 miles. So this is our scale factor, and we're going to go ahead and write that down. 2 centimeters over 85 miles. If Johnny actually drove 637.5 miles, how far apart was Johnny's house from his grandma's house on the map? So they are giving us miles, and our miles goes on the bottom, so we're going to put 637.5 on the bottom, and what we're looking for is on the top. So we're trying to figure out, if we looked at it on the map, it's going to be smaller, so we're looking for a smaller number. So we're going to do 2 times 637.5 equals 85 times x. So 2 times 637.5 is 1275 equals 85x. I'm going to divide both sides by 85. And on the map, Johnny's house is actually 15 miles from his grandma's house on the map. Let's try one more together before you try one on your own. A photograph was enlarged and made into a scale factor of 5. The photograph is 5 inches by 11 inches. What will the perimeter of the poster be? So, if we draw an example, this is what we're looking at. Our original photograph is 5 by 11. We want to set that up as a proportion, so 5 by 11 is the original. We are going to up it by a scale of 5. So if we look back at our scale factor, it says it's a ratio used to enlarge or reduce similar figures. So we want to enlarge both of them by a factor of 5. So we're going to multiply them by 5. So our new sizes are going to be 25 over 55. So now we can figure out what is the perimeter. And we know our perimeter is 2 times the width plus 2 times the length. So it's going to be 2 times 25 plus 2 times 55. So that is going to be 50, 2 times 25, and 55 times 2 is going to be 110. So 50 plus 110 is 160 inches. Now go ahead and pause the video and try example 5 on your own. When you are ready, press play and we will work through it together. So we have a car, and as it says in the problem, a car that is 15 feet long is going to be reduced by a scale factor of 60 to produce a model toy car. What is the length of the model toy car? So we start with 15. We start with 15, and we want to reduce it by a factor of 60. So if we're enlarging it, we multiplied. So if we're going to do the opposite, we are going to divide it by 60. This should give us a decimal. 15 divided by 60 is going to give us 0.25. So the model car should be 0.25 feet, or if we correlate that into inches, it would be 3 inches. Now try number 6 on your own. Go ahead and pause the video, and when you're ready, we will work through this together. If you look at the example, it says that each side of this drawing is 1.9 centimeters. So every side is going to be the same length. If we want to enlarge by a scale factor of 20, we need to multiply. So we will take 1.9 and multiply it by 20. That answer is going to be 30. 1.9 times 20 is going to give us 38. We're not done yet because the question is actually asking us what is the perimeter of this object. This object has 5 sides. So now we want to take 38 and multiply it by 5. 38 times 5 is going to give us 90 centimeters. So our final answer is going to be 90 centimeters. This is the end of the video. Please go and answer the 2 Google questions to show that you understand what you watched today.